Till Blast Tate says fight is 75% done. Well now, Darren Till, the kid from Liverpool, has had enough. He's looking at Andrew Tate, the guy who's been all over the internet, and he's decided it's time to throw down. Till says he's a family man, not some top G, and he's ready to make Tate prove it. Could this actually happen? It sounds like they're close to making a deal.
If you're going to go around referring to yourself as the top G, the alpha of all alphas, then he's definitely not going to decline a fight with me, as he's going to come in and show me why he's the top G. So, top Mong, top alpha, I'm certainly expecting him to accept the fight with me real soon.
I reported that they're in advanced talks, and it seems like it's going to happen. I can't see any scenario, Darren, where this guy who claims to have this big ego, who in reality I think has a very fragile ego, would ever sign up for a fight against someone like you. He's going to want a tomato can. He's going to want a cupcake to show everyone that he's an alpha. Why would he sign up against you? Do you think otherwise?
I definitely do think otherwise, but again, I don't go around calling myself the top J. I don't try to, I don't try to belittle women. I have 4 daughters, so I'm like, I have 4 daughters and a beautiful girlfriend, and I have many girls that I look up to and respect. For me, women are the power. They bring life into this world. So I'm girl power. So like, I don't need to demasculate women for my own ego and sense of alpha. Any man that calls him the top G and top alpha, he's obviously going to come and have to prove it like me. But I'm just a different kind of man. He's a very intelligent, high IQ guy, that's for sure, but his ego is what'll hurt him if he ever comes up against me on the mic, at the presser. I'm willing to go all the way. Is
this an active thing that Misfits is trying to get done? Do they want to make this fight happen for you?
Yeah, I think all parties do. Andrew Tate definitely is interested. It's looking like a fight that's going to be made before the end of the year in a great location. The money's obviously tasty for him as well. So it's definitely, I'd say at the moment, a 75% made fight.
Where would it take place?
Not in England anyway.
Middle East?
Tate to Till, beg nicely and I'll respond. The plot thickens, folks. Andrew Tate, in his infinite wisdom, has responded to Darren Till's call-out. He says he understands that a fight with him is life-changing money for Till, but he's not having the name-calling. Tate, the superstar, wants Till to talk nicely and stop being so desperate if he wants a response. Brian Ortega explains his weight cut nightmare. Listen, you've heard about bad weight cuts, but this is a whole different level. Brian T-City Ortega, a guy who usually keeps it pretty cool, is talking about going unconscious for half an hour. He says his body was telling him to quit, that he wanted to call it off, but he fought anyway, first for his family, then for the fans. This is a guy who pushed himself to the absolute limit.
What's going on, everyone? Thank you guys for being patient, allowing me to have these 2 weeks to just hang out with the family and just decompress from everything. Now we're good, we're chilling, and kind of give you guys my whole experience. I cut weight on Thursday. We hit the first one. We got down to 51. Second one, later on, I decided to jump the gun on that one at 12. But we cut from midnight all the way to 8 in the morning, cutting weight the entire time. I realized I had 1.7 to go still. We're confused on how my body wasn't really pouring out the water or why it was just holding it in, but no matter what, we have to get this weight off, so we did. We went downstairs at about 8 something, decided to cut more weight, put the plastics on, sweet sweat, you name the whole thing. I hit 20 minutes on the bike. Once I got off, I went unconscious. I was unconscious for about 30 minutes. During that time, they were putting ice on me. They took all my clothes off. They left me in boxers. Woke up in the ER. I ripped everything off. I tried to speak. I couldn't really, translate to them because I'm like, if they don't take everything off, I'm gonna take it off myself. So I started taking everything off myself. We knew that we had a time limit to get to the weigh-ins. Otherwise, I could not fight. If you saw the weigh-ins, you obviously know that I looked delirious and just coming off of being 30 minutes unconscious in the tunnel, what they say. After that, weighed in, we figured if I didn't feel good or if something was seriously off, that we would call the fight. It don't matter who you are, your health comes first. Always stand by that. Aljamain came to me and he talked to me. He said, hey man, I heard what happened. I said, I was under for 30 minutes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know we have the same manager, so I know he told you. I'm here and I'm trying and I'm gonna show up. He said, they already have a replacement fighter. Don't worry about it. But I told him, nah, I didn't want to waste your time. And I showed up here. We ate food, we rehydrated the entire day. I didn't feel good. I wanted to call it off. I got up and just walking outside, I almost passed out and fainted. Everything in my body's telling me not to fight. First and foremost, I decided to fight for my family. That's my job, to show up and do what I do for them. I fought for my family. Secondly, I fought for you guys. You guys have always shown me love. You guys have always supported me no matter what. It would be unfair to not show up for you guys. Regardless of excuses, you know, you just show up and you do what you gotta do. The question arose that maybe I wasn't gonna last. I didn't know what to expect, if I'm being honest. I was afraid, I'm not gonna lie. Being unconscious for 30 minutes and then fighting the next day. But I decided to go for it still. The outcome was what the outcome was. Good job to Aljo for game plan well played. He was slick with his movement. He's a very smart point fighter. Smart fight on his end, you know. I'm more of a fan of having wars. Call me crazy, but that's what I was hoping for, like a good grappling war, but it didn't happen. Neither did the victory. We fought for 30 minutes. At the end of the fight, I was like, yo, come on, like, let's bang. But we're back. We feel good. There's a lot of things that I learned from this one. There's a lot of factors in cutting weight when you travel. It retains a lot of water. The time zone change was different. I take full responsibility for everything. You know, it's just a lesson we learned and to take in consideration for the future. You know, this is not what you want, but this is a test to see what I'm made of. But if I'm being honest, the last 2 weeks, I haven't had that much sadness, the depression that I usually get from losing. I feel like it makes me just know where I'm at mentally. These are lessons that I'm learning as I go on this journey. And thank you guys for everything, man. There's a big reason why I fought is because of you guys, because of love you guys show me. I ain't going nowhere. Let's just see what the future holds for us. And thank you guys for tuning in and for hearing me out.
Strickland joins Pereira's camp for Ankalaev rematch. So you have to check this out. Sean Strickland, one of the most unpredictable guys in the game, is in Brazil. And who is he with? Alex Pereira, Poatan, the guy who once kept winning. Strickland is helping him get ready for the Magomed Ankalaev rematch at UFC 320. This is wild.
Hoje aí, pregando o Strickland. Essa força pra nós aí, próxima luta. Chama.
Oh, just scoring a giant human being, man. You know, try not to get too much brain damage.
The new odd couple, Pereira and Strickland. You cannot make this up. Alex Pereira, the stone-faced former champion, and Sean Strickland, the king of chaos, are friends. And what are they doing? They're barbecuing, like grilling meat. This isn't a training session, it's a full-on bromance. You've just got to see the pictures.
Chama ou não chama? Ei, Glovão. O cara disse que ia fazer um churrasco bom pra nós aí, hã?
Porra! From Texas, huh? From Texas. He's a steakhouse champion. Yeah, bro. I'm real bad, guys. Real bad here.
Chama, tá bom?
Chama!
Canelo Crawford is a historic gate. The numbers are in, and they are insane. Dana White just revealed that Canelo versus Crawford was the third biggest boxing gate of all time. Think about that. It's sitting right behind two of the biggest fights in history, Mayweather versus Pacquiao and Mayweather versus McGregor. Dana White breaks down UFC versus boxing pay. Dana White is talking money. He's taking a shot at boxing and its pay structure, saying only a handful of boxers are making the big bucks. In the UFC, he claims the money is spread across the entire roster. He put it like this: you eat what you kill.
Duplessis and Chimaev, I think, what did Duplessis make? $1 million base pay?
Ask them. I mean, it's not my place to talk about. That's the other thing, too. There's no gag order on any of these fighters. They could all sit down and do full interviews with you guys on how much they make and what they were paid. They don't want to, because they don't want you to know what they got paid. When people find out what you made, it makes life a lot tougher. There's a lot of people sitting around looking for handouts when they find out you made millions of dollars. But any of these fighters, you could do interviews with any of them. They could lay out their entire pay structure for you. But it's kind of weird. None of them do it, right?
The difference that I'm wondering about is fighter pay, because historically, boxers in championship matches are making a lot more than UFC fighters in championship matches. So what do you do?
Well, there's a handful of guys that always make that kind of money. When you look at the UFC, the money is spread across the entire group of guys. You eat what you kill. I mean, if you are a huge star like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, many people have proven that they could sell pay-per-views, and you eat what you kill here. We also have guys that would be considered journeymen in boxing who make millions of dollars. So the whole fighter pay thing is completely not true. And what I want to do is, obviously I'm doing this Canelo Crawford fight, and I don't think anybody's questioning what these two are going to get paid.
Well, I am, because it's not on record. What's the base purse for Canelo?
Well, imagine what it would take to get Canelo to fight Crawford and have a guy move up weight classes when he's undefeated.
I've heard $100 million.
Probably.
But no one in the UFC's ever made that as a base purse.
Conor McGregor?
$100 million, but that was against Floyd in a boxing match. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So
what about Crawford? What's he getting?
Who?
Crawford.
I don't know. I actually don't even know. So that deal was cut with Sheikh Turkey in Saudi Arabia, and basically in 26, I'm going to start my show, and what I'm going to do is basically like the Contender Series. The best will fight the best. Undefeated guys will fight undefeated guys, and what you will do is you will care about the first fight of the night and not just the main event. So I will build stars, put on great fights, and then these guys will graduate, and fight with Sheikh Turkey, and that they will determine, how much they get paid. And
Dana White asked about Muhammad Ali Act. They're still asking him about this stuff, folks. Dana White was just hit with a direct question about the Muhammad Ali Act and whether he supports the American Boxing Revival Act. How do you think he responded?
You support that legislation, right?
100%, yeah.
How necessary is that to get passed in order for you to operate in boxing like you do in the UFC?
Yeah, I think that, I'll give you an example. If you look at the UFC, we bought the UFC for $2 million. And if you paid attention today, the stock is at $200 a share. So when you can, I don't know if there's ever been a sport or a business or anything that's ever existed where trillions of dollars in revenue were generated. And at the end of the day, there's nothing there. What we did with the UFC is turned the UFC into an NFL, an NBA. There's a league, you reinvest back into the sport, and other people want to invest in the sport, whether it's sponsors or, any of these financial firms, whatever it may be. That's what needs to be done with boxing too, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Listen, there's no ego or arrogance whatsoever when I talk about getting into boxing and trying to fix it, because this is a busted sport.
UFC fighter shows his empty bank account. This is real, and it's a stark reminder of what this business can be. Sedriques Dumas, a UFC fighter, just posted a screenshot of his bank account before his fight. The balance, $13.96. This is the reality behind the bright lights. Amanda Nunes versus Gervonta Davis. Who wins in a street fight? Look, you hear these kinds of questions all the time, but this one is really something. Amanda Nunes, the Lioness, the greatest of all time, against Gervonta Tank Davis. Who wins in a street fight? It's a debate that's going to rage on. Caio Borralho wins at life. Caio Borralho may have lost his fight last night, but let me tell you, he's got it all figured out. He's smiling, he's happy, he's a winner. It just goes to show you that sometimes a loss is just a loss, but winning at life, that's what really matters.
Please, today is my son's second birthday. He's 32 years old today, so happy birthday to Liam.
Gene Silva's shocked reaction to the chaos at UFC Paris. Look at this, man. Just look at this. You've got Gene Silva, a guy who knows a thing or two about throwing down, completely and utterly glued to the screen as his friend and training partner, Mauricio Ruffi, goes down at UFC Paris. The raw, gut-wrenching emotion on his face, that's what this sport is all about. It's not just a fight, it's a family. The not-retired John Jones, training 5 days a week for a White House event. So much for retirement, eh? Just when you thought we'd heard the last of him for a bit, the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Jones, comes out swinging. He's not retired, he says. He's in the drug testing pool, and he's putting in 5 days a week of work. For what? Some kind of UFC event at the White House. This is a crazy, crazy sport, man. You never know what's next.
Let's get to a little fight news really quick. So there's a lot of rumors out there. Let's just spell a couple of them. First and foremost, are you retired?
I am not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool.
Great. And what's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention. But ultimately, it's up to the boss.
Nassourdine Imavov's fight night weight revealed. This is a stat that's going to get the nerds talking. Nassourdine Imavov, the man who just put on a clinic, apparently weighed in at a massive 194 pounds on fight night. Think about that. He's walking around at nearly light heavyweight size, all while making that middleweight limit. No wonder he looked so massive in there. Imavov's slow-mo power. Even at 50%, he looks explosive. They say the camera never lies, and in this case, it's telling a fascinating story. You see Nassourdine Imavov's technique broken down in slow motion, and it's just poetry in motion. Even when he's not going full speed, he's got this incredible rapid-fire flow. It's a reminder that a guy like him doesn't need to be at 100% to look like a world beater. McGregor and Elon Musk, the ultimate power couple? I mean, of course, this happened. You've got the biggest star in combat sports, McGregor, casually FaceTiming with the man who runs the world's most talked about social media platform, Elon Musk. What are they talking about? What kind of deal is being brokered? It feels like the beginning of a movie, and we're just waiting for the first scene. Islam Makhachev's cutting criticism of fighting nerds at UFC Paris. You know, you can always count on Islam Makhachev to deliver some cold, hard truth. While everyone else is busy celebrating, he's sitting there with his laser focus, watching the card. His message after BSD's win: train more, speak less. It's a classic, no-nonsense Makhachev quote, and it's a message that's sure to land with a thud in the lightweight division. Canelo Alvarez's casual $3.8 million watch haul. What a life. While most of us are stressing about groceries, Canelo Alvarez just dropped $3.8 million on a couple of watches like he was buying a cup of coffee. That's it. No big deal. Just another day for the undisputed king of boxing. It's a completely different stratosphere, man. Unbelievable.
I really love it, yeah. How much is that one?
It's a little bit more expensive. This is 550,000.
How much is this?
900,000.
Yeah, I want this one.
Do you want to take it with you now or
Si.
send it to you?
No, now.
Okay, 900,000 and this 1 million.
Give me that one too.
This is my
Oh.
crazy watch. $1.4 million.
I have $1.4 million in my hand. I want this one too.
Okay, no problem.
Right? It's very hard to don't say that. Give me that one.
Ian Gary and Carlos Prates react to Rufy's loss in Paris. The sport is a big, small world, isn't it? You've got Ian Gary, a welterweight contender, and Carlos Prates, a rising star, both reacting to the loss of Mauricio Rufy, the man of the hour in Paris. The look on their faces tells the whole story. They're not just fighters, they're fans, and they're watching this unfold just like we are. Prates' gut-wrenching moment, watching a friend get choked out. This is the part of the sport that people don't always see. Carlos Prates, a guy who's just about to get his shot at the top, is forced to sit there and watch as one of his closest friends gets choked out. And the cameras are right there, filming the whole thing for content. It's a raw, difficult moment, and you just have to feel for the guy. Carlos Prates calls his shot a title shot against the winner of JDM versus Islam. Whoa, hold on. This is a guy who's not just talking, he's calling his shot. Carlos Prates is looking to put on a show against Leon Edwards, and he's already planning to face off with the winner of JDM versus Islam Makhachev. He's talking about a crazy performance. That's the kind of confidence you love to see from a young gun.
Ah, é um cara que eu já vejo ele lutar já, né? Já foi campeão, tal. É um cara que é o nome certo pra eu ir lá e furar a fila, ganhar dele e ir pro cinturão, tá? Então eu acho que ganhando do Leon Edwards, a chance de eu passar na frente de todo mundo e disputar o cinturão, ainda mais porque eu vou lutar no dia do cinturão. E se os caras deixar, eu já vou subir lá, vou meter o louco, vou subir lá depois da luta e vou desafiar o campeão. E boa, velho, já era, não quero saber de nada não.
Poirier is already looking bulky just 2 months into retirement. He can't help himself. He just can't. It's only been 2 months since Dustin Poirier, the Diamond, announced his retirement, and he's already looking absolutely massive. This isn't a guy who's letting himself go. This is a guy who's putting on some serious size. The question is, what's he training for? We'll just have to wait and see. Alex Pereira. Fans get his face tattooed on their legs. You see this, man? You see this? Some fans don't just wear the shirt. They get a permanent reminder of their favorite fighter on their body. Alex Pereira, the man with the most powerful hands on the planet, is inspiring a level of fandom that's almost religious. It's a testament to the kind of impact he's having on the sport. Aspinall and Gaines' awkward elevator encounter. This is gold, just pure gold. Tom Aspinall, the champ, and Cyril Gain, the former champ, just happened to run into each other in an elevator. What do you even say in that situation? A casual, "How you doing?" or a long, awkward silence? It's a perfect snapshot of the kind of weird, wonderful moments that happen when these guys are all in the same place. Tom Aspinall's emotional moment watching a teammate win. This is what it's all about. This is the heart and soul of the sport. You've got Tom Aspinall, one of the biggest stars in the game, getting genuinely emotional while watching his teammate, Ante Delija, get a huge win in his UFC debut. Forget the belts and the money. This is about camaraderie, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Because it means so much to him. It means so much to him. He's a great guy, awesome guy. He's been waiting his whole life for that. It was awesome.
UFC goes to Washington, D.C., a spectacle on the South Lawn. All right, folks, can you believe this? Trump's vision is coming to life. We're talking UFC on the South Lawn with weigh-ins at the Lincoln Memorial. They're warming up fighters inside the White House. For crying out loud, what a spectacle. This is unprecedented, absolutely bonkers. McGregor for president? The Notorious takes on a new challenge. So I'm getting this news alert and my jaw just hit the floor. The man, the myth, the legend, McGregor, is running for president of Ireland. You can't make this up. I mean, what's next? A debate with the Prime Minister? A press conference with Proper 12 in hand? Only McGregor could pull something like this.
Good morning, citizens of Ireland. I'm here today outside the office of the Taoiseach and Taoiseach, where we are over 200 days into the formation of current government. In these times, this government has cost us our peace of mind, our security, our hope for the future, and the general well-being of Irish citizens nationwide has decreased dramatically, whereby we have seen the homelessness of Irish children risen to levels unprecedented, proving this government's refusal to abide by and respect our proclamation, in where all children of Ireland are to be cherished. Instead, our children abandoned. This incompetent failure of future generations has been accompanied with an intense influx of mass migration into an already severed system. Our tourism has sharply declined, while danger on our streets has risen. Ireland, as a master of martial combat, a solution-driven man, you will hear me speak on a problem but once, then it is action towards solution. I urge all our citizens to be of the same. Today, Ireland, I am outside these gates of these appointed officials, but as your head of state, you empower me to enter these buildings on your behalf. A president face to face with government officials with only one priority: to ensure that the country our founding fathers gave their life for is strictly adhered to on behalf of its citizens. Ireland, under my tenure, the will of the people will be heard. Ireland, under my tenure, we will return important articles of our Constitution prior, and thus again aligning with Padraig Pearse's proclamation, in that we declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland, and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Fan questions McGregor's presidential qualifications. A fan sent this to me and it made me laugh, but it's a fair point. This person is worried about McGregor having access to UAVs and missiles. I mean, I'm not saying it's the most pressing issue, but you have to admit it's a thought that has crossed my mind. What kind of a leader would he be? Would he tweet out his defense strategy? I have so many questions. Paris boos Tom Aspinall, and they're loud. I was watching the press conference in Paris, and let me tell you, the crowd was going nuts. Tom Aspinall couldn't even get a word out. They were booing him relentlessly. They weren't just booing, they're drowning him out. These fans are absolutely insane. You love to see it. This is what makes Paris different.
I mean, there was nobody else to fight. I'll just Cyril, you just do your thing, man. You just do your thing, I'll just chill.
Écoutez, il n'y avait personne d'autre avec qui combattre et tu sais quoi, Cyril, parle parce que je te laisse faire.
And question for Cyril.
A tense first face-off for Borralho and Imavov. The tension is building in Paris. Caio Borralho and Nasruddin Imavov are staring each other down, and you can feel the energy. This is a big one for both of them. A pivotal moment, the first time they've been face-to-face, and you just know they want to get in there. Things get heated backstage at the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins in Paris were already a circus, but then this happened. Carlos Prates and Nasruddin Imavov's manager are nose to nose. I'm not sure what was said, but you can see the animosity. Thankfully, people got in between them, but man, was it close. This is a different kind of intensity. Aspinall and Gain finally meet face-to-face. Finally. We've been waiting for this. Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gain are standing across from each other. They've been on a collision course for a while now. They've talked. They've hinted. But this is the first time they've been in the same room. You can feel the gravity of the moment. From the classroom to the octagon, Caio Borralho's incredible journey. This is a story right out of a movie. Before he was throwing hands, Caio Borralho was teaching kids math and chemistry. I mean, who would have thought? This guy was a teacher at 15 years old. Now he's one of the most exciting prospects in the UFC. It makes you wonder, what other hidden talents do these fighters have?
I was a teacher.
You was a teacher?
I was a mathematics and chemistry teacher before I started MMA.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. You learned something new.
So what age? What age did you teach at?
I started to teach when I was 15 years old. And I was always good with numbers and all that. And my grandpa is a math teacher. And he needed to run out in the middle of the class because of emergency, and there was only me and like 8 or 9 students of him, and he came to me and said, you know this subject, you know how to teach this? And I think I know. And then I started like that. So after that I started to teaching all the neighbor sons on my neighborhood and all that. So I was more like private teacher. And then when I in the school, when people realized I was good with numbers and chemistry, and I constantly teaching them, and they come into my house and constantly teaching them. Yeah, I like.
Thanks for watching. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe.